I want to do a quick review of my lever action 1894 Marlin chambered for 357 Magnum. Why I bought it was I was going through the Turner's holiday flyer and I saw in it 1892 lever action rifle, and it was chambered for 357 Magnum, and I was like, wow, I can get my grandfather's 30-30 gun chambered in a revolver pistol cartridge that I already reload ammo for. So I could shoot the hell out of this thing for cheap and have a lot of fun. So even though this was the 1892, Browning designed the first one, and they designed also another one in 1894, which was the 1892, second version, which had the action was slightly shorter, such that they could chamber it for the brand new 30-30 ammunition for the day. So the 30-30 cartridge was designed to go with the 1894. Winchester stopped making the 1894 in the 1980s, but Marlin makes the 1894 still, and you can get the Puma 1892, or you can get another one by Browning. Browning makes the 92. And so you can buy these rifles for 38 Special, 357 Magnum, or even the 44 Magnum. As far as any issues are concerned, I don't really have any issues with the gun. There were a couple things. One is with the ammunition, the choice of ammunition. When you choose a bullet, this particular bullet, I tried shooting this, and this is just a hollow point lead bullet with no cannelure, right? Which is the crimping groove. So this one isn't roll crimped, and I found that this one was having a feeding issue, and the gun wouldn't feed it. But this one here, this is another 38 Special, but this is a lead semi-wad cutter, and the gun did a very good job at chambering this one. Also, this, you can get a nice roll crimp on that case, and that roll crimp helps keep the bullet in place, because when the bullet, all these bullets are stacked up in the barrel, in the magazine, and the magazine here holds up to 10 rounds. And when all the bullets are stacked end on end, a couple things: you want the bullets to not have a pointy tip, so no spire point bullets. You need to have a rounded top, like a 30-30 Winchester round, or a flat top bullet. And also you want to make sure you have a good roll crimp, such that when the thing recoils, the gun recoils, you're never going to push the bullet back into the case, and and have the bullet seated deeper. That would make excessively high pressures in your ammunition, and you wouldn't want something like that. So this cartridge is a 357 Magnum. I shot this as a hollow point. This chambered very well. This shot very nicely. And that's about it for the ammunition. As for other issues with the gun, there was one issue that I had that I fixed. It took me about 20 minutes, but typically you want to run this gun, you could run it typically continuously up to your shoulder, and you just want to crank on the lever to reload it, to keep feeding it ammo. But when you go to pull the lever down, first have to break it away from the stock. When you want to be really breaking this thing and cranking on it, when I first got it, it was a lot of force to really break it away, and I had to take it away from my shoulder and really put a lot of muscle into breaking it down. And what I found was that I'll show you a picture of this photograph that makes it more clear, but there's a pin here, and this pin, if you punch this pin out, this little plunger thing, spring loaded, that will come out, and when that's out, you can take it. I took the pliers and I snipped one turn off the coil spring, and I made it a little shorter, such that it's not as much tension on it. Also, when I had this little plunger taken out, I took some 1000 grit sandpaper, made it really smooth, such that the edge there is not sharp anymore. So that really helps. And then you just put it all back together and lube it up, and that really helps make this gun really smooth, much smoother action. Now when you've got the action all apart, you can take all this apart, and you can take your 1000 grit sandpaper and go over all that and smooth that out as well if you want. But that was a very small fix. So unless you're a picky person who likes things to work exactly perfect out of the box, that if you're going to go looking at this gun, you may find that issue at the store. But you bring it home, take it apart. It's a very, very simple fix. In 20 minutes, and everything is going to be running just as running nicely for you. As far as accuracy is concerned, this thing is very accurate. I'll show you a quick video now of me shooting this thing at the range.
You can load it up with that. It's not like an assault weapon, but you can't go out and buy those magazines. You can't buy the magazine. We can't translate them, sell them, do anything with them. I'm building an AR-15 right now.
Let's go with that one in front of the rock.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go with this one over here.
I was actually shooting these bullets, which is 125 grain hollow point and jacketed hollow point, semi-jacketed hollow point, and that one is with 11 grains of accurate arm number 7 powder, if you're interested. But that was quite accurate. I don't know. You line up the iron sights on this thing. If you're on your target, if you can pick out your target, the thing hits it. It's hard to miss. So I'm actually pretty pleased with the accuracy of this thing. I think this thing could probably take down a deer at a couple hundred yards without any issue. Of course, you need to be a pretty good shot. If you put a scope on it, you probably get a lot better accuracy or whatever. But I think I'm going to try without the scope for a while. I just like the whole old cowboy traditional look. So that's that. As far as cleaning this thing is concerned, it's very easy to clean. All you've got to do is this thing, of course, is safety checked, and there's nothing. If you want to, for anyone who's not familiar with lever actions, this is a dummy round. But if you're going to, there's no primer in this. There's no powder in it. If you're going to load this thing up, what you do is the hammer is all the way down, or it can be in a half-cock safety mode. There's also a safety here you can press. So this thing is in safety, and then what you can do then is you take your ammunition and you push it in, you just feed it up into the gun, and then you can just keep popping more and more and more into the gun until the magazine is completely filled with 10. Then if you want to eject them, when you pull this down, it will chamber it. As you can see here, it will chamber for you, and so that's chambered now. And then when you want to eject it, you just eject it. That's how the lever action works. And if you want, and this is a single action trigger mechanism, you can just decock it like that. And if you want to take this thing down to clean, it's pretty straightforward. You can just open it like that, and there's this lever screw. Just take this screw out, screws out, that comes out like that. Then your breech bolt will just come out. Of course, your firing pin is inside here. That just comes out, and now you can just take your cleaning rod, or this little spring can come out. You just take your cleaning rod and you can clean the barrel out, and then just wipe everything all down and clean it all up, and re-lubricate the whole thing again and put it back together. It's pretty straightforward. It's like cleaning a 12 gauge. So it's pretty easy to clean, pretty easy to take down, and I gotta say I'm very pleased. I'm very happy with this. It's a very fun gun for plinking and target practicing and just shooting a lot.